last class we discussed about we added the code for the list, right? That is already we got the list data, so that now we used to write with the right. We used to check with that code here how that is recycler view. We have to assign that data to recycler in dashboard. Right, till this we got the data and we tested this data the toast, right? So here now, so on a success case, so in case if it is a success case, now we have to add this data to the recycler. So for the recycler view, what we are doing, so for the recycler view we are using that linear layout manager. So linear layout manager equal to linear layout manager of this at the rate dashboard. So then linear layout manager dot orientation. Here we have to set the orientation. So that is linear layout manager oriented dot. So I'm giving the vertical. Then true. Right. So then, so this we have to map to this recycle, right? So that is binding dot. Receive dot layout manager. So layout manager equal to linear layout manager. Done. So now next step here, the next step is, so we used to declare the custom adapter, right? Where custom adapter. So where custom adapter equal to custom adapter. So here we'll write this context cover data source, right? So this at the rate dashboard comma data source. So the data source is here. We are getting that is from the response dot body dot. So body dot data. So this data we are getting as a list. So in the form of list. So which list it is? So we created one class that is a list inside data. So this data we are getting, right? Next year we used to map this with this. So that is binding dot rec dot adapter. So set adapter equal to custom adapter, right? So custom adapter. So here I'm creating with this name one class. So this is a similar, already we created a one recycler, right? So this is a similar recycler, right? So this is created with along with the constructor, right? As we done last time. So here we will change this, and here we will add my, right? So now we can import this. Then now we can create so here we can create import methods, implement members. So this implement members we created here, Right. Now with this name, we will create a one class. So we'll create one inner class. So when we create this inner class, so here we used to create a one view for this. So item view colon, here we are creating one view. So we are passing that view indirectly to this. So colon, so means implements recycler view dot view holder. Right here we used to pass that item view into this. So this is done. Next step here. So we used to localize the data. So how can we localize the data here? So to localize the data, so first of all here we used to declare those components where ADB context, where ADB context equal to. So we can write the context. So context, right? Next, where next where ADB data. So where ADB data equal to, sorry, it's not equal to column. So here also it's column. Right here we are getting some data. So what is the data here we are getting? So that in the form of list, right? List. So here I can add this data we are getting, right? List inside data. This we are getting. So to find to assign this data, so here we can create one init method. So I'm creating one init method. So this we have to do here, not here. That's the reason it's not good. So here we used to create one init method. So here we used to localize the data. So that is ADB context equal to, so dashboard. This is the dashboard, right? Context. The next ADB data equal to, so here what is the data you are getting? So that data here we have assigned to that here. Now, yes, localization of done. Now here we used to return the count here. So that is return. So ADB data dot size. Done. So the next here we used to write the, so here we used to write that what we used to write here. So layout binding. So here we will create one view where view equal to layout inflator. So using here we are doing that. So that is means we are replacing the view single view. Yes, so that is a parent of, so linear layout manager dot. So that is parent. So parent dot context. So parent dot context. And from the parent context, next we will inflate a view. So what we are inflating here, so that is r dot layout dot So we will create here one new view custom, right, comma. So here we are replacing one parent. That parent view we are replacing with this, and reverse layout is not possible, right? Then this we have to give return. So the return to which we are giving this return to my view folder. So whatever the class we created, for that we have to create here with my folder. Why this my folder is not coming? So here we have to give this. We had it in the wrong position, so that's the reason. Not. So now here return my view folder of this particular view we have to give here. Right. Now with this name we used to add one layout resource. So we created one layout resource. So in this now we used to plan what is the data we are getting here. So here total we are getting four types of data. That is already we seen that, right? That we have to assign image plus last name, first name. So those data we are getting, right. So that we will assign here. So for that here I'm taking linear layout, orientation has horizontal, right? So here I'm taking some one card view, that is match parent, wrap content, and okay, card view, calendar. So card view, right, some margin, 10 dp, right. So within this, again, I'm taking one linear layout. So that is match parent, wrap content, orientation, horizontal. So within this, now I'm taking one image view, graph content, and ID that I'll give IV. That next year. So some margin also I'll give for this margin 5D. Done. So here now next we have four text here. So for that here I'm taking one more linear layout. So match parent, graph content, and orientation. So the orientation I'll give vertical. So within this I'm taking the inside text views. So total we have four text views, right? So those four text views I'm taking here, match parent, wrap content, ID. So that is the TV1. So that's all. I'm not giving anything here. TV1. Done. So like this, I'll copy this. So here I'll change this as a 2, 3. So I have created here multiple loops, right? Now we can go to the next step here. So we will assign the data here. Right. So we'll come back to here. So here now, sorry, in a customer, right? Here we have to find out those elements with this here. So to find out those elements, first you use to change this as an inner class. So within this inner class now, here we have to declare those variables where. So we have multiple things right here. What we have?
Image.
Text view, email, text ID. So ID column, I declare as a text view. So we'll handle nullify like this. So this is the email, and this is the first name, and this is the last name. Like here we have these things, right? Also, we are getting one icon. So icon. So this is the image, right? Image. Then we used to create one init method for this. So here I have to find out id equal to item view dot find view by id, that is r dot id dot. So tv part, right? Like this we have remaining also. So here it is the email. So first name, last name, right here, icon, right, done. So here this is for IV. So 4, 3, 2. So like this, I have created multiple things. Here we not created, right? 4. That. So that localization of it has done. Now the last step here is to assign the data here. So here to assign the data. So this step will vary little bit compared to the old. Like that time, so we assign local data, but now here we are assigning this something like different data. This is, so that will change a little bit. So that for that here now I'm assigning folder dot ID. So for this ID, I'm setting the text. So text equal to. So where we are getting this ADB data, right? ADB data dot get. So within this, now we used to get the index position. So that is folder dot adapted position. So adapted position. So but in this we are getting multiple. From there I have to get ID for this ID because this is ID. So whatever the ID I'm getting, that I'm taking here is ID. Right, like similar, I'll write for the next component. So folder dot. So let us say this is email. So ADB dot here. This will change. So dot email. So first one we are getting an integer format. So I'm converting into the string, but from here it is getting the strings. No need to convert. Right. So that's the reason I write like that. So first name, last name. Right. Then here. So this is dot last name. So this is the first name. Right. Now image. So to add an image, so for the image we used to write an one dependency. So that dependency we used to add here in our graph. So for image view, there are different um, dependencies are there. So one is the Picasso, other is Glide. Like different people will use the different. So, but our case here we will use one Picasso. So that is implementation. Like if you forgot, means if you don't know that context, like dependency, you can copy and paste the dependency from somewhere also, it is fine. So but here now we will write this implementation. So in an implementation, we used to write the dependency, right? So that is form dot. So what is that form dot? Google, that is from Google. So here the regular this escape. This is not this. It will come from the square. So square up. Square up means I'll show you if in case if you forgot this where you can get this. So Picasso dot Picasso. So here next it is a version 2.5.2 is the latest version. Right. Now this is the Picasso. So now we can sync now. So once this syncing has done, then we can add that in our class. We used to add that and we can close the. Once we added that, we can run this program. Wait, once it is loaded, we will see. So to loading this, it is taking time. So here even if we write syntax also, this will be show error because that syntax should be depends on this Gradle. That's the reason I'm waiting to sync complete. After running this, we will see here, for example, in case internet is not there. So how to handle that scenario, that we will see after this in this project. So that some level of project will be completed. After that, we'll concentrate on our next topics. Yeah, it is done. So now here we will write that one. So that is because of, so because of it, context here with reference of the context. So we used to get the data here. So dot load. So within a this here we used to write that where we can so ADB data. So ADB data dot get. So dot get here we used to write the position. So that is the folder dot adapter position. Folder dot adapter position. Right. So outside of this, so what we have to get that avatar. So this is the avatar. So that we have to write into, so that which one we have to add, that is into here folder dot I. So folder dot, so folder dot I. So for image field we added. So now this because we used to import this import. Import as an already device. So is this week. Right, just let me check. I have that. So this is the cursor dependencies. Yeah, it's the same, right? I think something mistake within one letter extra in. That's the reason it is not coming. Now we will see here. So what we've written it is same. Okay, let's run this. We'll get something error or it will run still.
తెలియదు నైట్ పెట్టావా ఇంకే ఉంటుంది ఫ్యాన్ దగ్గర చూడు
This one is this is one issue here. So sometimes when we add this other third party dependencies, it will take time to load this also. Let's see, once it is done, we can see. Otherwise, now it will show the any other. See, now it has came. So this because in the because has not fit for this. It came. It is taking too much time. So I think that my Zoom account also expired. I not seen that. Okay, we'll info. We'll see from here in next class. So otherwise, it will, now it will close. The meeting will close in 1 minute here. So we'll check this.